Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar, Getting the Most Out of NovaBACKUP version 19. We are coming to you live from our US-based corporate offices here in Agoura Hills, California, located between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara, very close to Malibu. My name is Eric Lamarck. I will be your moderator today. I wear multiple hats here at NovaBACKUP and likely have met most of you or have been meeting most of you in attendance. Joining us today is Jack Lunkovich. Jack is the head of quality assurance here at NovaStore and is additionally one of our senior support technicians for escalations. There is no one who knows NovaBACKUP like Jack. He has been here 20+ years. Jack will perform the live demonstration today of NovaBACKUP, and he will be showing us how to back up what we call Jack's Way. The agenda today: why back up, challenges you face protecting critical data, what's new in NovaBACKUP version 19, and then our technical demonstration along with strategy. This will be followed by with questions and answers, and we've vetted through these slides and wanted to make this webinar very personal and wanted to really dig into your questions at the end. So we look forward to getting through the slide deck and answering those questions that are specific for your clients, for your business, and for your backups that you're looking to, your data that you're looking to protect. Before we start, let's take a quick poll. Just, have you been affected by ransomware? Yes, I've been affected. I know someone who's been affected. No, I haven't been affected, but you'd like to learn more. I see the results coming in. I'll wait just another minute or so, a few half seconds, I guess. Results are still coming in, so let me allow them. And we've got over 90% that have voted so far. Thank you for that. Okay, let me close the poll for a second, and let me take a look. So 11%, we have in audience just about 70 people in attendance, and 11% have been affected. 40% know someone who have been affected, and the rest are like all of us. We're terrified of the ransomware attacks. So why back up? That's an easy question. And the answer is easy. It's the amount of modern-day cyber threats and planned attacks, mostly that are coming through ransomwares and malwares. It's never been greater. Another reason to back up is the industry compliances like HIPAA. Healthcare providers must have encrypted offsite backups for their patients' data. There also is PCI, the pay card industry, requiring you to host your data securely with a PCI compliant hosting provider. Moving on, hardware failure. Unfortunately, eventually every machine will fail. There are software errors and malfunctions. I can use a recent use case here. One of our customers had Outlook reset on them, and they were unable to retrieve their PST files. One of our support engineers here in California was able to drill into their backup sets and recover those files for them. Human error, accidental deletion of files. We hear this almost some of you had indicated that we weren't showing on the screen. It changed over for some reason. My apologies for that. We're back up live. Okay, great. Apologies for that. So I'll go through this slide once more, just to make sure that we understand. You know, the easy answer to the question of why backup is the amount of modern day cyber threats and planned attacks that mostly come through ransomwares and malwares. It's never been greater. Industry regulations is another reason to back up. Compliance fees like HIPAA. Healthcare providers must have an encrypted offsite backup of their patients' data. Additionally, there's also the PCI, the pay card industry, requiring you to host your data securely with a PCI compliant hosting provider. Moving on, hardware failure. Unfortunately, every machine will fail. Software errors and malfunctions. I can use a recent use case here. Customer had their Outlook files reset and they were unable to retrieve those PST files. One of our support engineers here in California was able to drill into their backup sets and recover those for them. Human error is one I hear almost daily. Accidental deletion of files. And the last couple reasons we would suggest a solid backup strategy would be malicious intent or theft, as well as natural disasters. I'll use, as we talk a little bit about the defense against ransomware, let me use a sports analogy. Championship teams have amazing offense by having a first strong defense. And with that said, we need to be certain that we can go back 100% to the time prior to infection. Of course, here at NovaBACKUP, we are part of your ransomware recovery strategy and backup strategy. We offer setup assistance, and I'll get into setup assistance a little more later into the webinar. We have advanced monitoring and email reporting along with alerts, and you can customize these to meet your needs. Cyber insurance, protection against claims by third parties by doing due diligence to protect your customers' data. This really speaks to your policies and people and devices and networks. Statistics show internal employees are responsible for 43% of corporate data loss. So we listed up a couple of questions that are great to ask as you're securing these policies, your employees, as well as your devices and networks. Do you have a company-wide password policy? Are you restricting access to high-value data? How are all devices with internet connections protected? This can additionally be multi-layered. And one of the last questions I would ask is, what anti-malware and firewall monitoring the traffic in and out of your network is in place? Why do people trust NovaBACKUP? The reason so many of you, our customers, trust NovaBACKUP is we're made in the USA, both our software and our support. Because we are trusted, we find ourselves and NovaBACKUP products in large healthcare agencies, hospitals, clinics, and doctors' offices around the world. We have simplistic licensing, and I'll talk more when we get into discussing some of the details of business essentials and some of our server products. You can monitor remotely. You have the ability to use our free monitoring tool, which is available on our website at novabackup.com under the download page. It's called the CMON. We are an extension of your IT. We are here, we are ready to reach. I see on a daily basis customers getting support from petabytes to single files being restored on a daily basis. I said that I would speak about setup assistance. We offer a custom seamless installation of the product for any Server Plus product That would be for NovaBACKUP Server, NovaBACKUP Business Essentials, NovaBACKUP Network, and of course for our enterprise level products. We do also offer professional services for you PC users, so not to worry. You'll never be outsourced here at NovaBACKUP, and in addition, we are now booking support in advance, booking support calls through a scheduling system. For those who are partners who protect other people's IT or managed service providers, we offer a high level of certified partnership, which includes no-wait red phone support for not only you, but for your customers. Moving on to the next section of the webinar. Again, I wanted to make this very personal. We want to hear from you. We want to understand what needs that we can help you with today. The challenges protecting data is absolutely exponential with the amount of data growth. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like IT budgets are increasing along with that. Backup is definitely not an option. It's expected today. And you have some challenges with extremely convoluted pricing and licensing out there, whether it's per feature, per application, per virtual machine, per socket, or per core, even data or RAM. And mentioned the new threats that are on the rise constantly that are coming against us. I'll go through this next slide, these 6 bullets, one at a time. I said that I would speak about our licensing and business essentials. So with business essentials, we could have, with the item 1, which looks like a wrench, we could have a host machine with SQL and Exchange on that host, along with, let's say, 4 flat file virtual machines with either Hyper-V or VMware expansion into virtualization. One license covers all 5 of those machines along with the applications, but a rule of thumb here would be anything greater than 2 terabytes. We may move you over into another product because our standalone small to medium business licensing, we want to make sure that you could back up very efficiently. Backup, the next one, which looks like a graph, backup and restore diversity. We offer image, full, incremental, and differential backups, all targeted locally to NAS devices, external storage, flash media, RDX drives, and cloud services. So should you have a catastrophic failure, you can use the image to do what's called a disaster recovery by remounting that image to a new machine without having to restore anything down to the motherboard level. This is called bare metal restore to dissimilar hardware. And of course, you could do the full and incremental or differential. Those will allow you to go back in time and restore files. This will depend on your retention settings, as we offer this by age or count, meaning that you can set up to hold on to a certain number of time or a certain number of backups, whether that would be 1 month, 6 months, or by number of backups. License options, the next one, which looks almost like a thunderstorm. We have site licensing available. This would be for high quantities of machines where you would have one single license and a monitoring capability. We also have those MSP offerings, which are for managed service providers, for you who take care of other people's data and are responsible for it. And of course, our subscription products that are available through our small to medium business line on site, always keeping you protected, always keep giving you full support and ongoing upgrades. The one in the bottom left corner with the magnifying glass and the screen, the CMON, I had said you can find this product. It's a free monitoring tool available at NovaBACKUP.com. You can go to the downloads page and you can grab yourself a copy so that you can monitor your NovaBACKUP PC licenses, server licenses, and business essential licenses. NovaCare, the next one with the umbrella is the protection. and that's our support. So we offer, with our perpetual licensing, 1 to 3 years of NovaCare. That means unlimited phone and remote session support, along with all the upgrades and latest and greatest NovaBACKUP products. Or you can just move to the subscription models, and that will bill each and every year, and yet you will always be fully supported with NovaCare. Setup assistance, we touched a little bit on it before, but again, this is for Server Plus products where we offer a seamless installation. We want to give you the peace of mind to know that the way that we've designed the software is the way that it's set up for you. In addition, we would like to get you familiar. It's not just we're going to come in and set everything up for you. That would be, it wouldn't do you any good. We want to teach you how to use the software. We want to show you how to use the software. We want you to become proficient with it and very fluent with it. We are always here, and it's just another time-saving professional service that we offer. As we move into what's new in NovaBACKUP, and we move halfway through the webinar by now, I'm going to let Jack address these slides and what's new with NovaBACKUP. Jack?
Hello, everyone. What's new in NovaBACKUP? NovaBACKUP 19, fast restore of critical data. We decided to focus on restoring version 19, so our engineers worked very hard to speed up restore process, because there's nothing worse than spending a lot of time trying to restore data. So one of the results was up to 4 times faster restores. We added multi-threaded I/O logic to the backup and restore process. Each backup now includes fast file indexing. What does it mean to you? In the past, you had to read complete backups. So let's say your machine crashed, you have a backup device with multiple backups. So if the backup took, let's say, 4 hours, it will take roughly 3 to 4 hours to rebuild the indexes before you can actually restore files. So that's what we focused on, improving speed on that import as well as restore. So one of the restore examples would be we did test backup to RDX media, which is removable cartridge, that looks like hard drive. So it was roughly 300 gigabytes of 45,000 images, typical dental images, x-rays. So what happened? Change in restore. In the past, it would take about 2.5 hours from beginning of import to finishing restore. We actually cut that down to roughly under 1 hour. That, to me, it's big improvement. We save 1.5 hours, but there's actually more to this. We have, the bigger the backups you have, the import will actually go much faster. Additional improvements that we did. We speeded up backups to your local backup devices like NAS device, RDX, USB hard drives. We also got certification under Windows 10 Creators Update. So we try to stay ahead of the game when Microsoft releases new versions of Windows 10. There's usually a lot of changes coming. So we are always ready for the next version of your Windows. We enhanced the verification. In the past, there was only one type of verification. Now we have normal, which is quick verification, reads headers and checksums. Then also we have added advanced byte-by-byte verification for some of the customers who require very advanced, I would say. I mean, it's completely, you can say like sector by sector verification. We added customizable email reports. There was a lot of requests. People said, I want to add my own subject line. We listened, we added those options. We have updated CMON application. We continue continually to work on improvements. So we listen to customers, continuously updating it. With all that, the stability of the product that's actually improved quite a bit. In the past, we even there were failures when people had bad hard drives. So Windows will report hard drive failures, read-write. We've been failing before because Windows was failing reading that. But with our new technology, we actually improved that, and we are able to continually read those drives, even when they have bad sectors. So that is a big improvement, so you can still protect your data from even drive that is started to fail, and it's gonna fail miserably very soon, so you can still protect that data.
Great.
Under reporting, so we added personalization to your reports. You can configure the subject line of email, reports, and alerts. Everybody will ask, it's like, I don't like your subject, I want to add my own subject. We listen, we add it. So we also added variables to the job names, so which includes job name, status, whether it was failed, successful, or it had warnings. It includes username, who's the software running under, date, time. So those are variables. Those variables can be combined with text that you type in. So you can say, this is backup from John's computer, and add additional variables to it. So it's very easy to understand once you receive those email alerts. So you can sort them very quickly.
Okay, so moving on, before we hit and get into the technical session with Jack here, we believe and are proud to announce that we've got a total care solution against cyber attacks. We're regulatory compliant. We have our team. You're not just buying software. You're buying a team here that answers their phone with direct dials into our California office. So it's the total end-to-end protection. These are some of the things that I had shared with you, and we again have redefined our service and support, and this is the best defense in protecting your data. Let's get into what you've all been waiting for, and let you see, because the text on the slides is just that, it's text. And so Jack is going to take some of the stuff that he was sharing with us, the improved speeds and the benefits, along with some of the 100+ advancements, obviously not all of them, but we're going to show you now the live demonstration. Just bear with me as I pull over. Okay, let's do the technical demonstration. Let's grab NovaBACKUP, and I'll let Jack take the controls.
Okay, so what we're going to start with, restore speed, import speed. I have small backup. Well, the backup was done about 210 gigabytes, 10 big files. So backup took about 30 minutes. For all of you who used NovaBACKUP in the past, if the backup took about 30 minutes, the import will take roughly 20 to 30 minutes as well. I have a question. Does anybody can guess how much time it will take to do this import of roughly 200 gigabytes of data with 10 big files?
So 200 gigabytes of data plus 10 big files. You can throw your response up into the questions if anybody wants to. If not, 27 minutes is one response. All right, so let's see how long.
So
30 minutes?
30 minutes, 40 minutes.
25 minutes?
Okay, 15 minutes.
Okay, thanks, guys.
So let's try. So this backup, it's 200 gigabytes roughly. So what I'm gonna do, it's coming from a USB passport drive. We're gonna just select that guy and click import. So how much time did it take? Did it really import? Well, let's see. When we go to restore, the is our big backup. It actually took less than 1 second. It's actually no magic. This is that's what engineers worked on. The reason why it took only 1 second, because there were really only 10 files in there. It didn't care that it was 200 gigabytes of data. So to give you an example, there is another backup which I did import before. It's roughly 50 gigs of data, but it contains 34,000 files. So that import, let's go to logs and I'll show you. Let's switch the log back. So that import took 1 minute, 22 seconds. So backup of those 50 gigabytes took about 10, 15 minutes. So there are different variables. If you have large files, big backups, that import actually, it's almost instantaneous. We see people getting shocked and because they're in disbelief that what we have accomplished here. So you can see that restore time will get improved because you have almost no time to import, so your import is done very quickly. So what we can move on now, I'll show you under backups. Under settings, in notification, we added subject line. So you can actually leave it on default. It will still send you a nice subject line, but if you're not satisfied with it, you can add whatever you want. You can add Jack, then you can add variables. Since I added this variable, so the backup subject will be Jack, and it's only going to show me the job status, % to indicate job status. You can add all the fields, you can add all the variables, and it's going to give you a lot of detail on the subject. One other thing we added after the backup. In the past we didn't have any options to shut down computer or restart, so that was requested by quite a few customers. So we have added this ability to shut down the computer or restart after the backup. This feature is, to me, it's kind of dangerous because when people don't pay attention, once they set up to shut down the computer, it will shut down the computer. So you have few seconds, I believe 15 to 30 seconds to cancel the shutdown, but if this is unattended backup, it will do shutdown. So it's not recommended for any type of servers, only probably on workstations. So if you want to save power after the backup or planning to perform maintenance, you can actually perform that. What people do, how do I back up my data? How do I protect my data? I hear this every single day. People talk about, I have one backup device or two of them. They're always connected. Is this sufficient? Absolutely not. If you're going to get hit with cryptolocker or your drive gets corrupted, you have no backup. Absolutely not. So that's why we do recommend backing up to multiple devices. One of the features in NovaBACKUP we had in the past is you can actually add network device. I have added one of the network devices to show you that even though your computer does not have access, like Eric's computer cannot access this NAS device, but you can actually configure it easily and add network device. So it's protected. When you get hit with ransomware will have no access to that network location. And number one problem I see when I talk to customers, all those network shares are all wide open. And everybody thinks I'm protected because it's network share. No, ransomware will attack every single file on your computer. It will go wherever it can go, it will go. So one of the major drawbacks, if you leave the systems wide open, no protection, no password protection, you are just asking for trouble. there's in NovaBACKUP how we can create a test job. I'm not going to go through creating multiple jobs, but I can show you how we can specify. For example, this is small test backup. Let's select something from documents, for example. Since I added network device, well, let's actually go by adding new network device. So to add network device, all you do is go to devices and you can click on add. Then you select your network device, click OK, you give it a name. For example, QNAP. And you can browse the location, but if it's password protected, it's most likely you're not going to find it. So I know the location. So this is one of the NAS devices I use for testing, and I know it's password protected. So and the reason why it's password protected because I do not wish anybody in a company to actually have access to this share where I keep the backups, because it's very critical data, and everyday users have no need to access the backup location, only administrators. So that protects you from unwanted access or getting your data destroyed. So once I added the network location, I can go to backup, selected some files, and in backup 2, I have 2 network locations. This is a new one which I added, QNAP. So we're going to do a little test. And under settings, I have normal backup. I unchecked open file backup to speed up the process, and I can schedule this guy. For this demonstration, okay, normally what you do, you actually have to specify the credentials for user that you're running, because if you're going to log off, it will not work correctly. Okay, we're going to check credentials. And if I actually go here, instead of waiting, I'm going to just run this job. So it did access that network location, even though Eric does not have access rights to this. I was able to specify credentials, and my data is secure now. So number 1 rule, protect your backup locations. Number 2, do not use single device. Because single device is a single point of failure. So having just the best probably solutions would be either have one NAS device and multiple USB drives. So if customers want to use just a plain USB drive, make sure that you use at least 2 of those devices and never connect both of them at the same time. So if you do backup, best way will be rotate 5 of those devices, 1 for each day. So you always have multiple backups to go back to. That's unfortunately it's kind of short. It's very tough, hard for me to actually talk to myself without having live feedback from person on the other end. So, but we do offer the setup assistance, and we actually will walk through with you and set up complete backup, including images, and to protect your company's files.
And what a demonstration, Jack. So thank you for that. You know, you could see, obviously with some limited time, we don't have all the time that we hope to enable the to show you each and every detail, but we do see some of those questions that are coming in. And before we do take your questions, I offer this to every customer, every partner, offer additional training, also offer, free consultation of your environment. Each one is unique and they're all different. So we're here for you. You've got my email address, eric@novastore.com, and you can call me directly. Obviously, I won't be answering for about the next 15, 20 minutes, half hour, once we get through and start answering some of these questions. So let us offer you that consultation. Let us check out your environment. Partner up with us so that we can help keep your critical data safe. So let's jump into a couple questions. As we've wrapped up most of the slide deck, there's one left. Let me go in and see. I did see some good questions here. I'm going to delete out some of the ones that, by the way, the best guess on the amount of the speed it would take was 2 minutes was the best guess that we got. So let's start with the first question. It's a good one. In regards to licensing, when do you need to license a virtual machine? That's a great question. Okay, we license the physical host machine, and only if you want granularity on a designated SQL or Exchange virtual machine, meaning you would like to be able to go in and restore a portion of the relational table of SQL, or you'd like to do what's called brick level backup and do a single file mailbox restore. At that time, we would treat those virtual machines as physical machines. But the ones that are domain controllers, web servers, file servers, we don't need to license those. And again, that one license with NovaBACKUP will pick up and populate those additional virtual machines. On the virtual dashboard. So here's a good question. Moving on to the next question. Do you get an email if the shutdown feature is used?
Absolutely. The email notification gets sent, then the shutdown command is issued, and it actually takes about 15 to 30 seconds before machine gets shut down. So the shutdown does not happen before the backup completes and all the emails are sent. So every time you use that feature, email is sent. Absolutely.
Another question is regards to support. Can I get after-hour support? Can I get 24/7 support? Can I get weekend support? Right now, we have 8 to 5 support. However, there have been many instances where we are responsive to our customers. We are responsive to our partners. We had a partner who was coming back from a vacation, and one of their healthcare clients was infected with ransomware, which attacked not only one server but 7 workstations. And we were able to wrangle in an engineer that was actually giving blood at the time at the Red Cross, Skyping back and forth or texting back and forth with our engineers. And it was a great success story. We were able to help the customer. So you just need to use the references that you have with the email addresses. I'm a strong resource here at NovaBACKUP. Please contact me. We are on top of our email. We're on top of our phone systems. It's all automated into our cell phones, which are usually with us. So thank you for that question. I've got another question here that maybe I'll let Jack answer this. How do you test the real success of a bare metal backup without restoring over the original server?
Okay, so there's multiple ways you can do that. Probably one of the easiest things would be once you created the image backup, how do you know it's good? You can actually mount the image backup as a drive letter and see if you can access the files. That's probably number one quickest test rather than connecting another hard drive to the server. Since it's live server, it's kind of hard to do that. But yeah, the simplest one is you can actually mount the image as a drive letter and you can access the files. If you can do that, your image will work correctly.
Great. Any suggestions on affordable cloud backup? Well, we have 2 partnerships which offer some free gigs of data, is the next question. both with First Backup and with Amazon S3. Will ransomware encrypt the NovaStore backup file extension? Good question.
It's a good question. At the very beginning, when ransomware started, they were not touching any backup files. They were usually encrypting documents, photos, spreadsheets, etc. As they evolved, they actually got smarter because most people have backups. So they will encrypt backup files regardless whether it's NovaBACKUP, Backup Exec, doesn't matter what software created. They actually go and encrypt all the files. So there is no more discrimination from those guys, and they actually will go over the big files and encrypt everything that they can, because that's how they make money.
Great. A couple quick questions. How much control does CMON give the user? It's a monitoring tool. It's also
at this time, it's a monitoring tool, so you can monitor the backups. You can see the alerts. You have access to complete logs from the users. In the future, we're probably gonna enhance that, but as far as right now, majority of the customers want to just see the backup logs, just want to verify that backups work. So that's where we moved on to.
And also, one of the things that's nice with the CMON is you can also do grouping. So if you're a business and you've got several business units, you can group those business units and those critical PCs together. Possibly schedule, backups at different times, and you can make sure that all those departments are getting backed up. Here's one for sales. Is there an upgrade price from older versions to NovaBACKUP 19? Yes, there are. With the PC licenses, we sell those licenses and subscriptions. Those could be purchased, or you can just contact me. Let me know what the environment is that you're looking to support. If you do have an older version of a server or a business essentials license, or even if it's an enterprise level product that we have here at NovaBACKUP, email me the license key, your name, and also your contact information, company name, and we'll look up your order. We'll get right back to you, and we'll make sure that we take care of getting you upgraded to the latest and greatest version. What is the best mode? Full, incremental, differential, or snapshot? Well, I'll let Jack answer this, but I do know that these are different. So a full backup is a marker before you have an incremental or differential. And incrementals just back up the day-to-day changes, where the differentials, once you have a marker with a full backup, will carry those changes over day-to-day. The snapshot or the image backup is going to give you, the bare metal restore capabilities. Jack, if you want to jump in.
Okay, it's actually in NovaBACKUP, what snapshot mode is exactly the same like full backup, except it does not touch the archive attributes. What's the best mode? Personally, I prefer nothing but full backups if you have storage, because I rather have 10 full backups and each backup contains every single file, rather than getting into, yes, the differentials, incrementals are smaller. If I don't have enough room or time in a day to do the backup, I'll do full and then differential. I'll typically not go into incremental unless you have tremendous amount of data that you don't have enough time in a day, but then you really have to work probably towards more updating your storage and software, because if you have tremendous amount of data, we do have other options which are towards enterprise class and extremely fast backup speeds. But typically, I would stay with full backups. It's safer. You can always get all the data.
Good. Thanks, Jack. Okay. Any recommendations for working with Dropbox?
Unfortunately, if you're using any of the Dropbox, Google Drives, we do not write directly to them because the way they work. So you actually have to, you write to the cache, to the local hard drive. So if you're using Dropbox, I would suggest probably investing in a like external drive and set the destination there, so it does not take up space on your C drive, because then Dropbox actually sends over the data. All those things have limitations of amount of what is the biggest file. So those devices are good for everyday documents, small amount of data, small backups.
Great. Will version 19 import backups to older versions?
Okay, so it's a good question. 19 will import older backups. Unfortunately, you're not going to see tremendous speed improvement. There is still improvement in speed, but in order to see the drastic speed improvement, the backup has to be done with version 19 and newer. So the new fast restore was implemented in version 19. So, but we will still read all the backups, older backups, without any issues.
Yes.
And they actually will be a little bit faster. So there will be some performance improvements.
Okay, great. Setup assistance, does it come with the demo? We do offer, guided trials with our Server Plus products. That is the start of the custom installation and gets you kind of off and sailing and comfortable with the software. We normally set up like a full or an incremental or differential, or like Jack said, if you do have the space, we'll set up full backups for you to be able to test and restore. I do see a lot of requests for specific improvements or custom improvements that people would like to see. Those will be forwarded on to Jack. He's again the head of our QA. I've got another question here. It's a simple one. I'm a single home user. Where can I learn how to get the best usage of my NovaBACKUP 18? So we have, if you go to YouTube, we have multiple webinars that we've hosted, and our YouTube channel is just NovaStore. You'll find many videos on there, and also within the interface of our software, you can find the support tabs in learning how inside the support tab you can enter in the knowledge base search bar exactly what you're looking for, and we'll have articles and videos that will populate.
Okay, I have one more thing I see. Can I add multiple devices to my router and backup over my network? Unfortunately, it's a router, and yes, some of them have ability to add hard drives to it. This is not network attached storage. Backup will not perform very well to it because it's a single access. That's why they have designed network attached storage devices. For the price of the hard drive, you can actually get small home-based NAS device, 2 to 4 terabytes. They range in price from probably $100 to $200, and that will be the choice to go over network attached storage. We actually do not support backup to a hard drive which is connected to the router, because this is, I would call it poor man's file sharing. Routers are, they're not NAS devices.
Okay, good. There's another couple questions that deal with support. If you do have any support issues, you can go through the interface of the software where I suggested, looking for information on specific details in learning how to use the software better, and you can submit a ticket, a case for our support team, and they can stay in communication with you. It normally takes between 1 to 2 hours and around this time of the day until we get a response. And then from there, depending on what it is, we're happy to help. And again, let us offer to you the consultation on your unique backup environment. Again, you have my email address, eric@novastore.com, or 805-435-0061, my direct telephone number. And that's the conclusion of our webinar. I do see one more question. Any recommendations for a NAS device?
Well, there's a lot of NAS devices in the market. Forgot the name already, but there is a website which actually does review NAS devices. Mm-hmm. Probably that would be the best choice to compare different ones. There's independent reviewers who actually test the speed of the devices, and I'll probably just start searching on the web for best solution for you personally.
Okay, and then I see one last question I can answer here. Thank you for your positive feedback. Also, we appreciate that, and you can send me an email as well, letting me know what you would like to see in future backups and what you would like to see here at NovaBACKUP. So running is basically a question of, first, we have a customer that has version 16, and they're asking if version 19 will install directly on top and retain all the settings. Yes, we have backwards compatibility, so if you upgrade version 16 to version 19, it'll remember all the settings, the logs, and the jobs that you have scheduled. So once again, folks, thank you very much for joining us today. We thank you for your participation, and we hope that you found this webinar extremely useful. Take care and have a great day. Bye for now.